Have you felt his presence lately, not in the desperate, restless way of the past, but in a way that feels calm, deliberate, and almost calculating? It's as if his gaze is resting on you from a deeper place, beyond words or logic. Something in you senses it, a subtle current beneath the still surface, a silent evaluation that stirs both curiosity and uncertainty. Yet the real question burns quietly in your mind. Is he finally ready? Or is this just another fleeting wave in your long, unpredictable connection? In today's video, we're going to break down the hidden truth behind these moments. You'll learn how to recognize the energetic checkpoints the divine masculine sets without ever saying a word. Quiet, invisible markers that reveal whether he believes you are ready, not just for him, but for the union your souls have been moving toward for lifetimes. We'll uncover how these subtle tests show up, what they mean, and why missing them could mean the difference between stepping into sacred union and letting the opportunity pass you by. By the end of this video, you won't just sense these shifts, you'll understand them with clarity and confidence. You'll know exactly how to spot the signs, interpret his silent measurements, and align yourself with the moment your connection has been waiting for. This is not about guessing or hoping, it's about knowing, with every fiber of your being, when the readiness is mutual. Watch until the end, because what you discover today could transform the way you see him, yourself, and the destiny you share. Number 1. Observing how you hold your boundaries. One of the earliest and most profound ways the divine masculine quietly measures your readiness for true union is by watching how you hold your boundaries, not only in what you say, but in the energy you embody when you say it. This is not simply about whether you say yes or no at the right moments. It's about the source of those boundaries. Are they rooted in fear, self-protection, and the need to control outcomes? Or are they anchored in love, trust, and the deep knowing of your own worth? If you are still shrinking yourself to keep the peace, over-accommodating to avoid rejection, or bending your truth so others will feel comfortable, he will sense it. This is not judgment on his part, it is awareness. He understands, consciously or unconsciously, that true sacred union cannot be built on dependency or imbalance. It requires sovereignty, two whole, grounded souls standing side by side, not leaning on each other just to survive the storms. Sovereignty is not the same as cold detachment. It is a warm, unshakable presence in your own skin, the ability to hold your energy without collapsing into another person's emotional waves. It's knowing your worth so profoundly that you no longer bargain with your soul just to be chosen. And sometimes, the divine masculine will often, without realizing it, present you with moments that test the strength of this foundation. These tests might show up as delayed communication, tempting you to chase for reassurance or over-explain your feelings. They might appear as emotional distance, sparking an urge to overcompensate to close the gap. Or they might reawaken old wounds that once sent you into spirals of anxiety or self-doubt. These are not punishments, nor are they games. They are energetic checkpoints, opportunities for you to demonstrate, in real time, that you can stay rooted in self-respect even when uncertainty knocks at your door. The unspoken question he is asking is this: will you still honor yourself even if it feels like you might lose me? True readiness is revealed when you can answer yes, not from pride or ego, but from a place of deep, steady self-love. When you no longer need to compromise your truth to keep a connection, you begin to radiate the kind of energy that invites a union based on equality, respect, and devotion. In that space, the masculine sees that you are not just ready for him, you are ready for the sacred love that can only exist between two sovereign souls. If you've made it this far, take a moment to reflect on how you've been holding your own boundaries in your journey. Have there been times you stood firm in love, even when it was hard, or moments when you bent yourself to keep someone close? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Or, if you want to set a powerful intention for yourself, simply type, "I honor my truth," as an affirmation. And if this message is resonating with you, don't forget to like this video. It helps this work reach more souls who need it. Number 2. Sensing your emotional stability in uncertainty. True union is not just the sweetness of romance, it is the sacred art of walking side by side, through uncharted waters. One of the most profound ways the divine masculine measures your readiness is by quietly observing how you respond in the delicate space between clarity and confusion. He can feel, on an energetic level, whether your inner world collapses into fear when the path ahead is unclear, or if you stand rooted in your own inner guidance, holding steady without chasing him for answers or reassurance. This journey will never hand you all the answers neatly wrapped in advance. It asks for trust without a map, faith without proof, and courage to take the next step even when the path is shrouded in mist. There will be moments when he goes silent without explanation, when plans shift overnight as though swept away by an unseen current, or when the once vibrant energy between you suddenly feels cool and distant. These moments are not punishments or signs that something is failing. They are sacred invitations, opportunities for you to lean deeper into your higher self, to anchor into your own truth, and to choose trust over fear. Emotional stability in this context is not about never feeling triggered. It is about what you do when the triggers arise. It means you can hold yourself through discomfort without spiraling into desperation, without making your pain someone else's responsibility to fix, and without abandoning yourself in search of quick relief. You become the safe harbor for your own storms, breathing through the waves, finding stillness in the chaos, and trusting that clarity will return in divine time. When you remain centered, not shutting down in withdrawal, not exploding in reaction, but holding your ground with calm strength, you send a silent yet powerful message to his soul. I am not afraid of the unknown. I can walk through the dark and still keep my light steady. I am ready to walk through anything with trust. And it is in this unwavering presence that he begins to truly see you, not just as a partner for the good days, but as a soul who can weather every season with grace. Number 3, feeling whether you are attached to the outcome. Attachment is one of the most subtle yet powerful obstacles to true union, and the divine masculine can sense it far more deeply than you might imagine. Even without words, he feels the energetic pull when your happiness, self-worth, or sense of purpose hinges entirely on his presence. This creates an imbalance in the connection, a heaviness that shifts the energy from freedom to pressure. At times, he may step back, consciously or unconsciously, just to witness how you respond in the empty space between you. In those moments of distance, the truth of your readiness is revealed. Do you fall into despair, convinced that without his constant presence the connection is slipping away? Do you tighten your grip, trying to fit the relationship into a safe, predictable timeline? Or do you continue to live fully nurturing your passions, expanding your spirit, and thriving no matter where he is in his own process? These choices are not just reactions, they are reflections of the depth of your inner stability. True readiness is not about proving that you can live without him. It's about embodying the kind of love that is complete within itself. It is loving him wholeheartedly without clinging, trusting that what is divinely woven between you cannot be severed by time, distance, or silence. This is not cold emotional detachment. It is the quiet confidence that love remains strongest when it has room to breathe. Spiritual maturity means trusting divine timing over the mind's impatient schedule. It is understanding that union is not a prize to be won, but a sacred unfolding that arrives when both souls are ready to sustain it. Holding this trust is like cradling a precious bird in your hands. You cherish it, protect it, and feel its life beating against your palms, but you never close your fingers so tightly that it cannot fly. In this balance of devotion and freedom, you create a space where love is not suffocated by fear, but nourished by faith. If you've made it this far, it's because something in these words resonates deeply with your own journey. So take a moment to pause and reflect. Where in your connection have you felt the tension between love and attachment? How have you learned to let your bond breathe without gripping too tightly? I'd love to hear your story in the comments below, because your experience may be exactly what someone else needs to read today. And if you're ready to affirm your trust in divine timing, simply type, "I release control and trust love's timing," in the comments as your sacred declaration. Number 4, integrating the lessons of the past. The divine masculine is not looking for flawlessness. He is seeking a depth that only comes from lived experience, reflection, and growth. One of the clearest signs he senses readiness in you is through how you have responded to the cycles you and he have walked through before. If the same arguments, misunderstandings, and emotional triggers resurface, and you react exactly as you once did with the same defensiveness, the same urgency, the same patterns, it signals that those old wounds are still in control, quietly steering the connection from the shadows. But something shifts when your responses change. When a trigger arises and instead of collapsing into fear or frustration, you breathe, center yourself, and respond with compassion and patience. It tells a silent yet powerful story. It shows that you have not only grown within the relationship, you have evolved within yourself. The masculine may still, consciously or unconsciously, activate those old wounds, simply because the energetic imprint between you carries a shared history. Yet these moments no longer have to be setbacks. They become sacred mirrors, showing you both how far you've come. True integration is not about pretending the pain never existed. It is about taking the wisdom carved out of that pain and letting it refine you, making you stronger in your truth, softer in your heart, and wiser in your choices. You no longer see challenges as proof of failure, but as opportunities to demonstrate your growth in real time. Every moment you hold steady, instead of spiraling, becomes a living testament to your transformation. This level of integration reassures him in ways words cannot. He feels the steadiness of your energy, the maturity in your responses, the depth in your presence. It tells him that this love, your love, is not fragile, not something that will fracture under life's tests. It is a connection with roots deep enough to withstand storms, a bond built on lessons lived and learned. And in the quiet places where his soul measures readiness, he begins to see not just a partner, but an equal, someone who has walked through fire, gathered the embers, and now carries the light forward. That light is what allows love to last, not as a fragile spark, but as a steady flame that can illuminate the path ahead for both of you. When you embody the lessons of your shared past with grace, you shift the dynamic entirely. It is no longer a cycle of wounds meeting wounds, but of two beings meeting from wholeness. That is the moment he knows. This love is not only beautiful, it is ready. Imagine this. In the past, every time he pulled away without explanation, a wave of panic would rise in you. You would send message after message, your mind racing with fears that he no longer cared, and your words would carry an undercurrent of desperation. The space between you felt like rejection, and you fought against it. But now, when that same silence appears, you notice the familiar stir of anxiety, and you choose differently. Instead of chasing, you take a long walk in the evening air, feeling your breath deepen with each step. You make yourself a warm cup of tea, journal your thoughts, and let your emotions pass like clouds drifting through a vast sky. Days later, when he returns, you meet him with openness rather than accusation. In that simple shift, he sees it. The woman before him is no longer defined by the wound, but by the wisdom gained from it. That quiet, steady presence speaks louder than any declaration of love, showing him that your bond is not tethered to fear, but anchored in trust. Number 5. Feeling the strength of your inner light. More than anything, the divine masculine is drawn to the unmistakable brilliance of your inner alignment. This light isn't something you can fabricate with a polite smile or a string of perfectly chosen words. It is the quiet, magnetic presence of someone living in harmony with their own soul, a glow that radiates from within and lingers in the air long after you've left the room. It's the kind of energy that doesn't need to announce itself, because it's felt before it's seen. When you are anchored in your light, you become a natural source of inspiration without trying to be. You create from a place of genuine joy rather than obligation. You move with an unshakable sense of purpose, and you care for yourself as if you were your own great love. Even when life tests you, when circumstances shift unexpectedly, when challenges demand more of you than you thought you could give, you find your way back to your center with grace. This resilience isn't about never stumbling, it's about always returning to the truth of who you are. Your light is not a single moment of brilliance, but the sum of the choices you make day after day, choosing truth over convenience, love over ego, and alignment over fear. Every time you stand in integrity, every time you meet hardship with compassion instead of resentment, You feed this inner flame. Over time, it becomes impossible to ignore. He measures your readiness for deeper connection by witnessing how brightly you shine, without seeking his approval or permission. This tells him that your life force flows from a source far deeper than his presence alone. It shows that your love, your creativity, and your joy are not dependent on anyone else's actions. They are rooted in your connection to the divine within you. In the end, this is the kind of light that calls him closer, not because it needs him to complete it, but because it reflects the highest version of his own soul back to him. When you stand in that radiance, you are not just ready for union. You are already living in it, within yourself. Beloved, what you are experiencing is not a game, not a test designed to break you down, and certainly not manipulation. It is the soul's sacred safeguard, the way the universe ensures that when the two of you unite, it will be in the purest, most elevated form of love. This is the place where trust runs deep, love flows freely, and both of you stand in your full, unshakable power. The divine masculine is not waiting for you to prove anything with words or actions. He is attuning himself to the silent frequency of your being, feeling for the moment when your very energy declares without hesitation, "I am ready." When both souls arrive at this readiness, there is no force in existence, not time, not distance, not fear, not even the shadows of the past that can keep the union from unfolding. It becomes inevitable, a convergence written into the very fabric of your shared destiny. So hold your center, remain steady in your light, walk forward with grace, no matter how winding the path may seem. Know that he is not simply watching from afar, he is aligning, step by step, breath by breath, until the moment arrives when your paths merge again. Your journey is sacred. Your light is needed now more than ever. And when the time comes, both of you will feel it in your bones, the unmistakable knowing that it is finally here. If these words have stirred something within you, I challenge you to affirm it in the comments by writing, "I am ready." Let this be your declaration to the universe. If this message has resonated with your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and stay with me until the end by watching the next video that's waiting for you just below the screen, because your story is still unfolding and the best is yet to come.